And I think, Darren, that we are live. Oh, whoa.
Can I do that? Can I?
We're still live, but we've
Are we
ruined
still
everything. Yeah, we're live, I think, but ruined everything.
Oh God!
Yeah.
All I see is the Nerd Venture Tower.
I know, right? The
no,
lobby.
we're into it.
The lobby
Okay,
screen that I.
we're back. Wait, I'm gonna do the Josh intro. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're doing it.
We
Hello.
are doing it, and we're doing it live. We're talking, of course, tonight about a bunch of cool nerdy things, as we always do. It's Darren's Danger Room. What's up, Darren? How are you?
Welcome, everybody. I am doing well. Pretty chill day. How are you doing this fine evening?
Doing well, making it work. A little exhausted, but down to do some nerd venging with you as always.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time, just saw you yesterday, but I'm ready to
I know,
rock.
long time no see. What's
I
been
know.
going on?
It's been a wild 24 hours. A lot of actual news
Really
and crazy stuff that happened, and I kind of want to get into this Storm thing right away. In fact, let me just throw this into the chat. I want to do this in the chat. Do you guys think that Miss Michaela, I think that's how you pronounce her name, right? Michaela Coel?
Yeah, looks like Kayla. Kayla Cole.
Is Michaela Coel playing Storm? Because that's kind of the big thing. That's what people are talking about. I don't wanna know
Yes,
what
I'm
these
very
Nerd
curious
Vengers think.
actually what the Nerd Vengers think about this because
sure.
I don't know. What am I gonna vote? Maybe
What
I'll
are you
vote
gonna
right
vote?
now and then not say anything.
Yeah, I think she just at base. I mean, I'm not super familiar with her, but she kind of just immediately looks like she could be Storm. She kind of strikes me as a Storm-esque kind of a vibe. She's got that
Striking,
kind of look,
regal
yeah.
figure.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
striking. She's got really like good features too. You know what I mean? Like big lips, big face. You know what I mean? And she looks very pretty. So I think I'm super unfamiliar with her. I haven't really seen any of this stuff. Apparently, she's in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I saw that in the credits. I was like, oh.
Okay.
Was I?
Yeah, who is she in The Last Jedi? Is she Snoke or what? Like, what the
Oh
hell?
yeah, no, she's Stormtrooper 56. You didn't see underneath the helmet? That was
No,
her.
I didn't see.
So.
I didn't see that. I was not paying attention.
Oh,
I guess.
she was one of the Knights of Ren. Another helmet. It was okay, but
Yeah.
breakout star, breakout moment.
Breakout star moment of it. But
yeah, what will you reveal your vote to the audience, to these lovely nerd vengers out here?
So
Are you in camp? Yes, Storm, no Storm.
So here's the thing. I think she could be an awesome Storm, and that would be sick. And Storm would be a good place to put this character. But I'll tell you a couple of different things that I actually think. So I'm going to actually go no. I'm going to go camp no. And I think she could be one of...
I voted no.
You voted no too? Interesting. Well, I actually think she could be, as bizarre as this seems, she could actually be the next Black Panther. And if they did that, yeah, and here's why. Because I'm hearing, there was a really weird thing that John Campea said on Twitter. It was like a couple of days ago. And he said he was hearing from some legitimate people that the new Black Panther was going to be a new character that was a female. And I was like, that's pretty bizarre. But there are a couple of different interesting female characters that could actually work in this role. Madam Slay is one of them. That's what Michaela Coel saying in the chat. This was the wife of Eric Killmonger. I guess she even may have resurrected him in the comics or something like that.
That seems a little more likely to me. I don't know a lot about Madame Slay other than what I've read in that she's the one who resurrected him. And that seems a little more likely to me, and maybe bringing Killmonger back in some regard. Just even the fact that they're involving him in What If just doesn't seem like they're done with him. Like they're still interested in what he could bring the MCU. But as the Black Panther herself,
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like that's tough because then it makes me feel like Wakanda Forever might have to do the whole origin story thing again. And I don't know if that's the best move.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't want her to be it, just because like a totally unknown character coming in to be Black Panther is a little bit out of there for me. Like, it's not even the fact that she's a female character. It's just more the fact that like she's not known. However, when some of the people that I was talking to, and I could not get a lead on this at all from some of the people I was talking to, But I will say one of the people had a really cool theory, and let me try to pull this name up. Anika, Aneka. And this character is really cool. So I looked this character up a little bit.
Mhm.
She is the person that trains all of the Dora Milaje, and she had a role in the Doom War where she was actually training the Dora Milaje, I think specifically to fight in the Doom War and to fight in sort of a espionage way against some of the forces of Doom. And I was like, man, if they go really deep into that, and I started to think about the possibility of like Shuri being pushed as the new Black Panther and being trained like sort of savagely because she needs to kind of step up to the plate and be a warrior in order to win that thing or whatever to become the Black Panther. And what if they do this thing where they're setting it up to be Shuri, she's being trained by this person, and then Shuri kind of wisely just like kind of realizes that she shouldn't be it, and then she makes this other character do it. I don't know, it's a little far-fetched to me, but I couldn't get it out of my head what John had said about that, because this lady here, I mean, she's got a career and she's done like some good work, but apparently like the signing of her, like if you look into the original article, it's a little bit weird. She's not even represented, and she just went out and met with Ryan Coogler, and then they did the dang thing and signed the deal. So there's some mystery here to this casting.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. I think it'd be really, of course, bringing her in to be some kind of dynamic character in the main character cast, I'm all here for. But I am a little wary of making her the next Black Panther, only because I feel like there's going to be so much work that needs to be done to get us to honor Chadwick Boseman, not forget, but kind of like let go and move on from like his portrayal of that character, because Black Panther as of right now is very, very deeply connected to him. And then I think spending a lot of time on doing like an origin story for an unknown character to become the next Black Panther that we have to get behind, I just don't know if that's the move. I think it would be that time would be much, oh my God, that time would be better well spent. Hey, doing it for Shuri or Killmonger or someone we already know that we spent time with, that they can kind of build up in that way, as opposed to bringing in an unknown. Like that could have worked in another time, but with this specific instance and the emotional ties that are to this franchise, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Now let's get really weird with it. Okay. So,
I love my son weird. Serve it up.
I'm serving. Here we go. Boop. What if she's both Storm and the new Black Panther, and they want to do a really weird, like, new kind of a thing with that? I don't know. Is there any do you have any kind of feelings about that? Is that no buen for you? You know, likey?
No, thank you. She physically looks like she'd be a great Storm. I mean, that's what I've always said. What I wanted from Storm, I wanted someone who was very regal and striking. Like I didn't want someone sweet, someone cute, someone pretty. I wanted someone who's like striking, tall, big features, like commanding. And so that's physically it looks great, but Storm is my favorite X-Men, and she's like one of my favorite characters of all time, like in all media. And I just don't want this to be her intro. Like, I just don't think this is the move. Like, she's too important. She's too big. Like, I can't imagine that Kevin Feige and the Marvel team doesn't know that she is the biggest female Marvel character. Like, they know.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if they don't take advantage of that by just kind of making her like an intro into the Black Panther franchise, I think that'll be one of the biggest mistakes ever. Because one of the best parts about her and T'Challa's relationship is the fact that they're on equal playing fields, right? Like this isn't like Peter Parker and Mary Jane, you know, like these are two very, very powerful people that are very well established in their own like communities, in their own rights as heroes, that have, you know, people that are their leaders. You know, she's leaders of she's leader of the Morlocks. We're gonna get weird. He's leader of Wakanda. They're both separately very important, influential people. And I think that is a huge aspect of their relationship. And one of the interesting things about Storm coming into Wakanda and like later on becoming the queen of Wakanda, because she is like, it just, I think it'll be missing out on a lot if they just kind of start her as someone that whoever the next Black Panther meets. Because I
Yeah.
think having her whole time as the X-Men before she really starts that side of her story is important. What do
Yeah.
you think?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's just, there's just some weird things being said, and I can't help but have I don't know, just a lot of confusion and trepidation about what they're doing with the movie. Martin Friedman's comments, I think we even talked about them. There were several months ago where he just kind of talks about what a head scratcher certain parts of the script were and how he really leaned
Yeah.
on Coogler to be like, just trust me. You know what I mean? And then you hear
Mm.
weird things just coming out from some of the insiders and people around it. This casting in particular does seem a little bit odd. So I don't know. I mean, the thing is, she could just be playing one of those other characters that doesn't become Black Panther, but is nonetheless very significant to Wakanda and to the things that are going on. Because we know that they're going to do the Wakanda show, so
Yeah.
Wakanda's seemingly playing a very big role in the MCU and the things going
Right.
forward. But I mean, we're not the only ones thinking Storm. I mean, this is literally Screen Rant right here. And yeah, the
Yeah.
Storm Black Panther 2, who Michaela Coel could be playing. She's cast for a mystery role in Black Panther 2. Could she actually be playing Storm? Yeah, I mean, it's on the tip of everybody's tongues.
Tum?
Tum to
What?
tum tum. It's
What?
on
What does a tip of the tongue
a
mean?
tip of the tum.
What
Oh,
could that mean?
that's for After Dark or the After Dark Discord where it gets
Uh,
gets a little crazy.
Josh,
Uh,
rub your belly.
exactly right. The super chats will come. But yeah, it says here she's entirely possible she's playing X-Men Weather Goddess Storm. The Black Panther sequel began production at the end of June, and little by little, casting details are beginning to emerge. Reports have consistently suggested the film will see Wakanda go to war with the underwater kingdom of Atlantis, with Black Panther 2 finally introducing the MCU version of Namor the Submariner. Now, there's also big rumors, they don't talk about it here, but there's also big rumors of Doctor Doom being in there as well. I don't know. It seems like they're throwing a lot of stuff in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah,
they
it's
could
too much, too much, too fast.
You think
Like
so?
I don't think this is the right time to bring. Okay, wait. But when is Wakanda Forever coming out? It's like one of the last slated projects, isn't it? It's going to be years, right?
Actually, I think it's 2023. I don't think it's next year, but I do think it's in 2023. So they will hit that. So 2 years from now.
But it's like fighting Namor, that's what lit up T'Challa and Storm,
True.
like if
Yep.
they really wanted to bring in Storm and Doctor Doom, what is he kidnaps? Yeah, he like kidnaps Storm and like holds her hostage or something,
I
and then
believe so,
like
yeah.
and then she becomes like the representative of Wakanda. So she really is so entrenched in Wakanda in so many ways. So I could see why, and I mean, I think this just also speaks to the power of Storm. Like the
Right.
minute, like just a random casting of some chick, people are like, Storm,
Yeah.
is this Storm? Like we want it, but
Yeah.
I don't know if this really is the full moment, and I think they'll be missing out on a lot of a really good, let's face it, Disney merchandising opportunities.
yeah.
Like they could, milk this Storm train for a really long time, and like not just little girl, like people will be, Storm at Disneyland for decades. Like if they
Yeah.
do it right.
If they do it right, for sure.
But yeah, but then it's just like it is hard not to say, is it Storm when you're right? It's like they're talking about Namor, they're talking about Doctor Doom, all of these things that Storm had a part in.
Yep.
So you're kind of like, is it? Like, is she gonna be there?
I mean,
And like if
it would be so wild. There's also, and I don't know, we haven't really talked much about how the variant situation could be, happening on Earth as well. Because with Wakanda Forever presumably taking place after, Doctor Strange and after I don't think Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, he's just gonna end everything and close everything back up like tight like a bow. I think we're headed towards crazy rocky stuff for some time. So Quantumania is also that year as well. And I think Quantumania actually will come out before Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Check me chat on that. I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a lot of wild stuff will be in play that year. I don't know. They could absolutely make the next Black Panther movie like an Avengers level / bringing in some of your X-Men kind of thing. I'd kind of be here for it, but it is a lot. You know what I mean? It is a lot. So I don't know.
I mean, it's all I've ever wanted, but my hope, my dream would really be for them to have established the mutants first, which
Sure.
just like doesn't seem likely. So that's like my only thing.
Mm.
Like, of course I want Storm to be involved. Like, of course I think she adds like so much more dynamic elements to the story. But
Yo, chat just blew my mind. Wakanda Forever comes out July 2022. Next year.
oh,
That's crazy. Is that true? Somebody,
okay.
yeah, somebody point that out. Make sure it's People are backing it up. Holy cow! And then Quantumania is not
Okay.
for a whole nother year, dude.
Okay, yeah. I just
Wow.
this is my selfish want. Only because I just do not think it does her character justice to introduce her without introducing the mutants first. I feel like it needs to be mutants first, X-Men first, then her coming to Storm, and
Sure.
like then her coming into the Wakanda thing. And of course, like their history, right, is that they met before she was an X-Men, so maybe they'll do something like that. You know, like I think he like saves her from getting like kidnapped or robbed or something like when they're
Yeah.
like super young. So like
I
maybe
mean,
this
they
will be
could do
that.
it. Yeah, they could have that at the beginning of the film. There's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that they could do. I mean, they could get there. We seem to be flying towards stuff. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe at the end of this year we'll have a better idea, right? Because I mean, we've
Only
been
if they
talking.
fly to those mutants.
Yeah, well, there's a mutants
Fly 'em,
project, right? There's a
I know, but I just wish it would fly faster.
fly right to Mutant Town, please, so that Darren may be satisfied. But no, I mean, I'm there with you. Like, I want mutants real bad. I want X-Men real bad. I'm really interested to see what they do. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we got Spider-Man technically in Civil War, right? So they didn't do an origin for him. They just throw him into Civil War. They're like, bitch, please, you know who Spider-Man is. So, I mean, could they do that with Storm and show us a different kind of thing?
No, only because, well, in my opinion, no,
Mhm.
because Spider-Man had gotten like 700 origin stories at this point, and it was like the Batman effect. Like we've all seen Uncle Ben die a million times, we've seen the pearls in the alleyway, we get it. Where Storm, while she was like in the original X-Men movies, like we never got her moment or her intro origin, whatever
That's
the
true.
fuck.
That's
Like
true. Yeah, good
we got
point.
it in the X-Men animated series, I think was like the only time that like really did it. But like the Halle Berry Storm was whack.
Yeah, for sure.
I said it. Whack.
I mean, I like Halle Berry, so I was a little fond of it. But yeah, they don't really tell you much at all.
Her face or her performance?
Face was pretty nice. I mean, the performance is not really. She's not really feeling African much. Is that kind of
Yeah.
your gripe with it? Is she didn't really feel?
I mean, I think it's more like, I wouldn't say it's Halle Berry's fault as much as it's like Bryan Singer's fault, where he was like, no one make eye contact with a comic on this set. It's going to be its own separate thing, which I get as like an artist trying to like create your own piece of work, but also dumb. Like, and like just, like that one like really blew my mind when I first like read that fact, because I was just like, they're like, all the distinguishing elements about her were like left out of it. So like Halle Berry was just giving like a good read of the lines she was given, but you have like no idea who she really is, or like what her character's about, or what makes her particular. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally get what you're saying. I think there's a lot. I think Captain Pennsylvania, who's totally trolling right now, but I think he'd agree with like Scotty Summers. I mean, even Scotty Summers is like treated so just archetypical, but not even like good. Like they make him kind of like the punk ass, you know what I mean? And they kind of stick with that.
Yes, Cyclops.
Yeah, for sure. So hey, maybe we'll get that. Apparently, Henry Cavill met with Marvel again recently because his days with DC are pretty much done for show. So a lot of people think it could be Cyclops, could be some Cyclops.
I would love
going
him
on.
as Cyclops. And that one, I actually don't know if it's his face or his performance. It's always hard for me with Henry Cavill. I'm like, he's a piece of ass. He's
I know,
just a
right?
beautiful man.
I know, yeah.
But
for sure.
I have a question for you. How would you feel if they did make Killmonger the next Black Panther, and then they made Storm his eventual love interest instead?
Okay, so I wouldn't hate it. I'm actually a big proponent of the possibility of Eric or a variant of Eric being Black Panther, but it seems to be like a couple of the insider people that I'm friends with have been pretty adamant that that is definitely not happening. They're like, nah, it's no way.
Oh,
Yeah, and Charles Murphy says he claims to know who the new Black Panther is, and he basically said it's definitely not Eric,
oh,
which is kind of a bummer for me because I think he would be
yeah.
pretty cool. But also I totally understand it because they did kind of set him up as I mean, I always struggle with this because I didn't. I totally empathize with him, and even though he was like a total homicidal maniac, crazy person, I think just on a base level, as a comic book fan, I even did videos of this before that movie came out, where
Hmm.
I'm like, man, in the comics, as much as I love T'Challa, Wakanda's kind of assholes, man, because they're like just
Yeah,
chilling in the middle of Africa doing not a lot actually to
yeah,
help. You know what I mean? And they're very
yeah,
Zionistic. I was like, dude, like, no offense, but that's them in the comics. Like, dude, Wakanda, like, they're like, hell nah, fam. Like, not us. That's
yeah.
not us. And I thought that addressing that in the movie would be interesting, right? Because why wouldn't you help? And the way they did it through the lensing of Eric, I thought was pretty interesting. So I have a lot of empathy for the character, just at sort of face, I guess. But I also understand why people would be like, dude, that's no, like he cannot be the one to take over. He can't be, the one to come back and rule. It would be first of all, Disney wouldn't do that. Second of all, a lot of fans would have a big problem with it. So I don't know.
Really?
That's what I
I
keep
wonder. It's
hearing.
like, wait, have you ever done a poll about people?
No, let's do it now.
Because I'm actually really curious about that. Because like I know myself personally, I am in the same boat as you, where I really connected with him as the antagonist of that story. I was like crying so hard when he died in the movie. I was like very connected to him, even though he was like doing bad things. And based on how that character made me feel in the movie, I felt like it wouldn't be that big of a stretch to get people on his side again. But then I don't know, maybe actually people are just like absolutely fucking not. Like I would not want that dude to be Black Panther. Hell no. So
Yeah,
I actually
let's see.
I'm curious to see what the poll says about
See what I
this
mean?
because
Killmonger like killed innocent people. Yeah, no, see, yeah, for sure. He did. He did. I'm
yeah,
interested to see what people think. Yeah,
but
it's an interesting
there's
one.
shit. Maybe
I
she can date Shuri if she becomes the next Black Panther. I mean, that's not that different of a storyline. It still like keeps it in the family.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. If they went that route, I mean, they could absolutely go that route. I don't know. It's that I think the one of the other things that's man, they keep saying like words like respectful, and they're really gonna embrace the legacy of Chad and everything like that. And I feel like I think they will, and I hope they will, and I hope it's a high priority. But the more and more you hear of this movie, the more you're like, they're kind of just gonna make the crazy ass sequel. Like it just is. It's gonna be the crazy ass sequel with the crazy ass stuff going on. And
Yeah.
I don't know, like I'm wondering like so where does Black Panther fit into this and where does his death fit into this and where does the like how much of Chad at all are we gonna see in this movie? Like I don't know. I'm starting to get a little weirded out by that. I don't know if you're in the same boat at all.
Yeah, I don't know either because if it's like absolutely not going to be him, that also makes me think that they're really going to possibly consider the recasting route. And I just
But they
wonder how that's
kind
going
of
to play.
I feel like they said publicly they would not recast though. I think it's what they
Oh,
said.
wait. I did know that.
But if it's a
Wait.
variant,
Is
they
that?
could get around it. You know what I mean? Where it's like, well, we didn't recast him. This is a variant version of Chad,
I
you
did know
know?
that they would not recast. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, but now that I know it's coming in July 2022, and like maybe I knew that, but then my brain forgot it, that does kind of like put things in a weird place for me because, like, in the timing of everything,
Yeah, Feige said he would not recast. Yeah.
yeah, how are they going to?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, it
Yeah,
seems like
it's moving so fast. It's just moving so fast.
yeah, it's weird. It just seems like that is a very it's a sensitive topic for fans. And it seems like the movie's just going ham. Like, if you're really gonna do
Yeah.
Namor, Doom, possibly Storm, I mean, what's the plan here to basically be like, oh yeah, Black Panther gone, but check out all this fun stuff. You know what I mean? And just to get everybody
Yeah.
like distracted and excited. I mean, I'd like to believe that Coogler would never do that, and they keep using the words of like respectful to Chad's legacy and all that. So
Hmm.
gonna just kind of have to play wait and see, though, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Now that it's absolutely not going to be Killmonger, I'm now going to put my hat in the ring for Shuri.
Yeah.
I think I would like that. I think that's my
Hey, if
next
I've
favorite
always
choice.
said this about the Shuri thing, if they can convince me that she physically can like handle herself in
Yeah,
combat and like you can do that.
that's very fair.
It would take a lot, but here's the thing that's cool about it, right? Is that it would actually take a lot for her to actually do that physically. Like she would have to struggle in real life, IRL, right? To do such things.
Hmm.
And if she did that, like in some way to sort of honor his legacy, you know what I mean? And really like do that, oh man, it would really win me over. And I think it could actually win a lot of people over because a lot of people are skeptical of Shuri's ability to do that. And they're like, oh, dude, you know, there's just that sort of knee jerk
Yeah.
reaction. Where it's like, oh, freaking Shuri, that'd be horrible. But if she like embodied that physicality, went to work in real life, got physical, and then like made me buy it in the performance, sure. You know what I mean? I'm there for it. It's not my first choice, but I would be there for it
That's
if
true.
she did it.
I know, because it really does. That is like another like pet peeve of mine with like girls in action movies. I mean, I'm sorry, not girls, women. Women in action
Yes.
movies that just have like, instead of actually trying to make them buff, they just want them to be anorexic. And so they're just like these, voluptuous ladies on little like, chopstick legs, like
Yeah.
taking some huge dude down with that like little like kick
Super.
thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
It's
know?
super annoying.
And the arm flip thing, and you're just like, dude, no, no, just no way. Like absolutely no way. And the
Yeah.
actress who plays Shuri's pretty tiny,
She's
isn't
tiny.
she?
She's
Like,
tiny. Yeah.
and she's got a small frame. Like I remember people were kind of pissed at that Gal Gadot was Wonder Woman, and it's kind of the same thing where it's like Gal Gadot was hit in the gym, but she's just a tiny woman. Like she's got a small frame.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
as buff as that's like the buffest she can get.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and so yeah, you're right. That also makes me go back to the thing where it's just kind of like I don't want to spend a lot of time with someone new
Yeah.
for Black Panther. So I don't know. What's the bald chick's name again?
Okoye?
Yeah,
one
Okoye.
that-
She's got a great build.
Honestly, I would be down with Okoye taking
Yeah.
over as Black Panther. I mean, I just don't know how that would work exactly because she's like Dora Milaje, and like I don't know how that would work at
Yeah.
all. But I've always loved her, man. I liked her a lot as Michonne. And yeah, I think she could do it. I think she's got great charisma and she could do it. I don't know. It's again crazy question mark. Just a big thing that people are speculating about. There's a lot of chatter in the chat. People talking about M'Baku. You know what I mean? People saying no, it can't be.
Yeah.
Michonne. You know what I mean? It's just really interesting to see like how people are gonna react to what they do, and it's for better or worse, going to be a big intriguing thing that will hang over that film until we see it.
So I have another question based on kind of like the mutant threat of it all.
Mhm.
How do you feel about them like introducing those kind of like single mutants as I know that you said that Kevin Feige had that mutant project lined up, and so that's probably what he was going to do. But how would you feel if they just kind of like started dropping X-Men or mutants that we know here, like random projects, but not really like giving the mutant origin first? Like,
Yeah.
would that satisfy the mutant need, or like?
Well, I don't know. It kind of depends, right? Like, I don't know. I think you could have them in like, okay, so in an ideal world, if there was a mutant perhaps in Shang-Chi and we just got a reference or something, like people just talking about him as a mutant, and it's not really like a big part of it, but it's just a little setup, and you get to see someone with fun powers or something. Because there's rumors that like Spiral's in it from from Mojoverse and stuff like that.
I know. When I
Yeah.
heard that, I was like, "Excuse me, what?"
Yeah, it's pretty wild, right?
That's the first one we're getting.
Yeah.
Like 6. How many arms she have? 6.
Yeah, but in those, I think it's hard to say because as I go back, I don't think Abomination was in any of those leaks, but it's also one of those things where they could have added that later in post, so it's like kind of hard
Yeah.
to know for sure. But like, let's just say they dropped a little mutant love in there, and then like you saw Apocalypse in the Eternals movie, but it wasn't like mentioned much at all. It was just like it was a little side part of it. And then depending on what shows are going on, you know, if you get even more mutant love kind of sprinkled throughout, I mean, I'm here for it. I think the biggest thing for me is like, then what the fuck was going on in WandaVision? I keep having to come back to the boner because like it's too like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're gonna sprinkle mutants throughout and bring in the Fox X-Men Quicksilver and not make him a mutant and not explain it at all and not say that Wanda's a mutant? I can't believe that. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe there was no mention or reveal of mutants in WandaVision. That's what I can't believe, Darren.
Yes, I know. I was just like, I like how you're like, even in my wildest dreams, as I was happy just getting my mutants, I would still have that boner.
Still that damn boner. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I kind of think that the only way I'm not going to say only way because, you know, we'll see. But as of right now, I think the only way I would like that is if we saw Apocalypse and Eternals, because that would be the only way I would like it, because he technically is the first mutant. True. So like, you know, like seeing it, and like for a long time after Apocalypse's reign in Egypt, he was like, you know, entombed or wherever he was doing. So he was kind of like the only mutant for a really long time until they started like popping up again in the 50s en masse. But like, I would actually be down with that. Like seeing Apocalypse and Eternals being, because it's like, then in that setting, I would be like, okay, it makes sense that there literally is only one mutant. Yeah. And there's like nothing else going on.
Well, I mean, here's the other side of this that's really weird is like this whole time we haven't really mentioned the fact that Namor inherently being in the film, which is not, that's not a little rumor. That's like pretty substantiated at this point. We know who the actor's going to be, right? He's a mutant. So we're basically getting mutants in Black Panther no matter what, right? So now like that I think about it, I'm like, shit, maybe we should recalibrate. Maybe we should consider the fact that like, why not another mutie? Why, you know what I mean? Like, why not have multiples in the film? So it's, when you really step back and think about it, you're like, shit, mutants are coming for sure no matter what. Namor, do we think, I guess the real question is Namor going to be the first mutant that we see? I mean, Homeboy in Black Widow said that he's friggin' Ursa Major. He's technically the first mutant.
Yeah.
And they call him Ursa and they call him Little Bear in that movie.
I know. I feel bad for that guy, though. I feel like he's just like talking to all the newspapers being like, I am a big deal. They loved me. They want me back. And you're just like, bro, you got cut, man. Like, it's no, maybe a little hard feelings, but like,
also like he got kind of cucked in that scene. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like it's kind of a bad look. Like, it used to be a thing where like big action stars would put in their contract that like they always had to win to look good on screen.
Oh shit, bro.
And and there would be big things where like they wouldn't lose in a fight. So if you had two of the big action stars in a movie together, you'd have to figure out a way to not make either of them lose and shit. And I'm like, that's totally gone nowadays, because I mean, this dude Ursa Major gets like straight up just he looks stupid. You know what I mean? Like he got really messed up by the homie. Yeah.
That is like a hilarious fun fact that I'm going to laugh about for days. And I can just imagine all these like, you know, 1980s, like, you know, flashy action movie directors being like, okay, so how we choreograph this fight so it always ends in a draw? Like, so stupid.
Well, it's the agents probably got together and they're like, look, Stallone is not going to take this punch on page 16. Yeah. Like, I'm just telling you right now, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? It's like,
or he will not be in your movie, or we walk.
Yeah, for sure. It's wild. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. That dude could be Ursa
obviously
Major.
That guy was very happy to be there, so it seems like he was willing to take whatever. I just feel like
justice for Ursa Major. We need those shirts, bro. Like, justice for Ursa. Those shirts need to be made with him, like, literally just holding up his like fugly ass wrist. Like,
or maybe he's lying.
Dude, what? Nah, I guess. What's he doing? Lying for clout?
Yeah, just being like, oh yeah, big superstar here. They wanted me in more scenes. They wanted me to come back. They wanted me to be the main character, like really like big
Hmm.
antagonist. But
Yeah.
it didn't end up that way. But that was like the original plan for sure, for sure, for sure. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there is a chance you could just be lying. Although I think it is more likely that he's probably just new to acting and then filmed all these scenes and was like, I'm important. And they're like, no, dude, that's just how movies work. We film a bunch of scenes and then we use like 20%.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like you said though, just either way, I feel bad for the dude. That was
Yeah,
rough.
I feel bad. He's like so excited. But
Yeah.
you bring up a good point with like, Namor,
Namor?
what happened? Namor being in the movie. It While I want the mutants to have a proper introduction, it really did bug me when they wouldn't call Wanda and PHO mutants. Like it really
Yeah,
bugged
dude.
me. And it bugged me again in WandaVision when I was like, just fucking say it. Just say they're mutants at this point. Like just say it. And they wouldn't say it. And so there is another part of me that still wants them to say it. So what do I want? What does Darren want? I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
having
know.
conflicting needs here. But yeah, so I think I actually might be annoyed if what the if Namor showed up in Wakanda Forever and they still wouldn't call him a mutant.
You've got the Josh brain
I
now. You've
think it
got the
might bug
Josh
me.
brain.
Yeah, I'm just like filled with
It's that stream brain.
unbridled,
Like,
categorized
yeah.
rage.
Yeah, for sure. So I saw some people in chat asking about the reports about Namor. So two major reports. One came from the Illuminati, which I can pull up for you guys actually. So give me just a second. Yeah. Check this out. So this comes from the Illuminati. By the way, I have a pretty good relationship with these guys, man, and they are very solid. You know what I mean? I don't want to speak out of turn because there's stuff
Mhm.
that I am not supposed to talk about, but they are solid AF. And then also, I think this was in Empire and Screen Rant. Okay. So, yeah, let's see here. Wakanda Forever. I wonder if they source the Illuminati here. Yeah, they source the Illuminati
Mm.
here. Yeah, so it's mainly stemming from the Illuminati. But I believe there was another Hollywood trade. Somebody let me know in chat. I believe there was another Hollywood trade that more or less confirmed this as well, sort of inadvertently. But yeah, that's the report right here. And as I said before, very solid dudes. A couple other people sort of backing them up. They think actually Namora and Namor and Atuma actually are going to be in the movie, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Like Atuma, mother
Yeah.
flipping Atuma. Like I don't know, guys. We're getting some wild shit in Wakanda Forever. That's what I'm
I
saying,
mean, if Namor is going to be in it,
dude.
Namor is so funny to me. He's
He's
such a weirdo.
awesome. He's awesome. I
He's
will say this though,
he's sucks ass and he's also awesome. Like
dude.
he's just like the worst and the best.
Yeah, exactly. He's like that atypical. You want to talk about like 80s action heroes? He's kind of like them. Like he's
Yeah,
like,
for
I won't
sure.
lose in any fights. Like I'm the best, and he loves Sue Storm, dude. He simps so hard for Sue Storm, and it's fantastic. It's fan freaking tastic. So yeah, huge douchebag, huge asshole. But
What was he? It
what's
was
it?
it Avengers vs. X-Men when he destroyed Wakanda?
Yes. Yeah, just totally comes in with the Phoenix Force and messes
And he's just
them
like,
up. Yeah. Yeah. He's a bad dude. But then again,
no,
like
bro.
he does help out in the new Avengers run. He eliminates that planet when the rest of the Illuminati could not. And
Yeah,
yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with a
which is
character
also
like
like
that.
not a cool move either.
Oh,
Like
it's a total
he's
horrible move. It's like, dude, what the F? Let me see if I can find that panel. That'd be super
oh,
fun.
God,
But
Namor.
just a couple other things I wanted to kind of touch on, then we'll get into Q&A and see what all the folks want to talk about. Can I talk to you a little about this
Oh,
Kang, Darren? I wanted to talk to you about the Kang. Can we talk about Kang?
this gang,
Can we talk
gang,
about
gang,
Kang?
gang.
So
Mm-hmm.
this, I was going to try to maybe formulate into a video earlier, but my brain was turning into goobly glob as I tried to make sense of the time travel and all the different aspects of the show.
Yeah, Glibbity
So
Glop is way worse than Glippity Gloop. I hear
it's
you,
the
man.
worst, right? So there's some interesting stuff in this new making of Loki that happened on Disney Plus
Mm-hmm.
from the assembled thing. It's just like what they did with WandaVision and the other before. And there are a couple of scenes that were cut from the film and lines that Jonathan Majors have that now people are picking up on and trying to sort of contextualize more of what the character was actually about and what was going on, right? So it
Yeah.
says here, the first moment found at the 55-30 minute mark shows Majors fully in character telling Loki and Sylvie, I'd try to explain what I'm capable of, but we don't have the million years it would take for you to understand, which is pretty bananas, kind of indicating that he's been there for millions and millions of years. I mean, we kind of know this, but it's a nice sort of like, putting like a period on it, like, yes, this dude has been
That one,
around for millions of years.
that one was hard for me to discern because I'm like, is it just my knowledge projecting onto it? But I feel like that was kind of obvious from the
Mm-hmm.
show.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
was that just me projecting my Kang knowledge onto the show? But I
No,
feel like
no,
he
no.
kind of implied that.
He
That
implies
like,
it. Yeah, he implies it because he says I'm way older than I look, I think. And they even go over it here.
yeah.
I think he says like I'm way older than I look. And interestingly too, the young Loki's been in limbo for thousands of years. So, it seems like they kind of have
Yeah.
this thing where the younger looking characters can be older. But yeah, kind of interesting. And then the next scene shows him where they're like hesitant to come sit down, and he says, guys, if I was going to do an exploding chair, why wouldn't I just do the exploding floor, which is kind of interesting. And then one of the last ones here
That
is
was
him
pretty funny.
saying, like, you think I'm here with you, who I am everywhere. And this
That one I wish they had kept.
yeah, and this in particular, I think, really just implies more of that sinister nature where he has the backup plan, and perhaps that's why they sort of took it out. But I'm still really holding strong that this variant of Kang had some kind of backup plan and that he's getting out of this situation. And this idea of like, you think I'm here with you, I am everywhere, kind of implies to me that we're going to see this exact variant again. I do not think this is the last of He Who Remains, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I know. I kind of wish they had kept that line only because I think for what I got from that Loki episode or the Loki finale was that they killed this version of him, but then there are other versions of him, and they're going to, now that they killed him, maybe those ones will start fighting, or they're just going to encounter him again in some other life because there's a million variants everywhere, and when things start branching, it's going to be
Yeah.
it's going to be chaos. But I really like what that line suggests, which is like, I am everywhere, meaning like this might not even be the real me. I
Right.
have like control over multiple times. And even if it's not true, he could have
Yeah.
been just saying that and explaining what I previously said, where it's like, oh, just now with the timeline's branching, it's going to be chaos. So I am everywhere. It couldn't have meant it literally like I'm the Wizard of Oz, I'm everywhere. But
Yeah.
like, but I do think it would have been a very, very menacing implication. Like,
Yeah.
you can fight me all you want, but like, I'm not even here.
Yeah, I know. And it's just more sinister than what's
Yeah.
presented in the episode, because he kind of says like see you soon and winks or whatever, like as he's dying.
Yeah.
But it still felt like I don't know, it didn't do what this
Yeah.
line does for me. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
Yeah, that's what I
oh
mean.
shit, like dude, this dude's everywhere. Like that's pretty crazy. And yeah, I would love to see this exact guy again, maybe in the second season of Loki, perhaps even working with them or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this really indicates again that when Miss Minutes took the information to Judge Renslayer from He Who Remains, it was some kind of backup plan, and it sort of ensures that this variant and Miss Minutes are likely still somewhere in the multiverse. That's what I think. He's lost control of the Citadel, and he did want adventure. It seemed like he longed for something new, but I don't think he's really gone. You know what I mean? Or a variant that's very close to him will reemerge, I guess is another way to say it,
Yeah. And like, yeah, I totally agree with you where it's just like, okay, if all the variants are working together in a way where it's just like, it's maybe not like a Hydra where, you cut off one head, another, I'm talking about like literal, like mythological, that kind of thing. Like where another one pops up, but it could just be like such a large operation of variants that one going away isn't really taking away from the bigger scheme of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel the same way where it's just kind of like that wink, see you soon. I was like, him or like, but he's dead.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Like it's kind of hard to, and that's the thing I
Yeah.
like about the whole time travel and all that interesting stuff. It's fun,
Yeah.
man. We're getting into this really crazy time within the MCU. It's super fun, and
Yeah.
I saw an article. I'm gonna start to pull up the Q&A, guys. So we'll get into Q&A now. But I saw just an awesome little clip on Twitter where Feige was talking about how the beginning of the MCU is really getting audiences to accept that Iron Man armor and the idea of a super soldier, the idea of a god from Asgard, like getting audiences to come along for that. And he's sort of slowly over time taking them to space and then different reality, and now
Yeah.
we're finally at the place where he's going to bring in the multiverse. And the way he sort of said it just kind of was that like sort of winking of like, yeah, like now we're gonna have a lot of fun, you know what I mean, in the
Hmm.
multiverse. And I think we all are here for it, man. Like we're ready. Loki also serves as such an awesome primer to it. Just the
Yeah, for
amount of
sure.
fun you have in those episodes with Loki. I mean, with classic Loki, alligator Loki, kid Loki, the whole bit. Like you have so much fun that I feel like now we're really set up to really enjoy the variants and all the craziness to come.
So, what would be your ideal Kang scenario? That it was in some way him saying, like, I'm here with you everywhere, like he has like a consciousness
Yeah.
that's spread across the multiple timelines, or that there's just multiple variants working together, or that he's just fucking crazy and he's lying and he just knows that the Kang variants will come irregardless.
So I think probably what's happening is her going to a time possibly right before Sylvie and them arrive or something, and taking out a variant that's basically, I think what he's doing is he's having her go to a variant of him that,
Hmm.
and then giving all the info to that Kang. So basically, he wants to give He Who Remains another shot at the next coming Kang War. And so, like, however that plays out as far as like where he ends up going, because I mean, at this point, we got to assume that even Limbo is no longer Limbo. Who knows
Hmm.
if Kang the Conqueror is hiding the same way that He Who Remains was? Maybe he's not even in the Citadel. Maybe he's like
Yeah.
just running things from the actual TVA. We don't know exactly. But my gut tells me that what happened was all the Kangs are gone except He Who
Hmm.
Remains, but he realizes all the Kangs are coming now, but he still is going to be one of them. You know what I mean? Like he basically ensures that he will remain as one of the Kang variants. That's kind of where I'm going with it, because he could have sent her to win in his universe where Nathaniel Richards within the 31st century just
Yeah.
started his time travel stuff, right? And he could basically create a new variant of himself that's sort of cognizant of all the things that are going to happen, right? So I
Hmm.
think that's kind of what's going on. And then you'll have Kang the Conqueror that's a
Yeah.
totally different version of him that wants to kill him so bad. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's kind
It
of
is
what I'm
so
saying.
wild.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, so let's see
Truly
here.
wild.
John Paca says M'Baku as Black Panther with a $5 hollow. So we haven't really talked about that. What do you think? M'Baku? Winston Duke?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think like he had really fun side character energy in like the movies, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it was strong enough for me to want Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean,
It
I'm
just
kind of
hasn't had a
with
lot of
you.
screen time.
Yeah, I'm
I
kind of
don't
with
know.
you. I'm in the same boat. I just don't know if he can carry that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
really just carry that over time. I would argue Miss Shone has more of that screen presence. You know what I mean? Like I think she literally has that that main star kind of charisma. You know what I mean? And I
Miss
love Winston Duke. He's cool.
Miss
The
who?
Okoye, she was Miss Shone in Walking Dead.
Oh, I was like, I've actually never seen The Walking Dead.
Oh
Oh,
snap! Yeah, she's
yes.
good, man. She's good. She uses samurai swords to cut
Yeah.
off the zombies' heads. She's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Okoye definitely has bigger, what is it, Denai Guerrera? What's her name? her real name.
Yeah,
I think she
don't know,
definitely has a
actually.
little bit more main character energy.
Yeah, for sure. She could kill it. Tobin says with a very generous $9.99, happy to send my
Hmm.
first super. Much love for the den.
Hey.
And also, what if Wakanda's, or rather Wanda's prophecy is to destroy the main villain of Doctor Strange 2's world, not ours? The whole we didn't say which world crap. Okay. So that's kind of an interesting take. What do you make of that? The fact that the Scarlet Witch prophecy and her being, create or being stronger than the Source Supreme, and the Darkhold says that she's going to be the one to destroy the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Could that be some weird, not our universe crap? Like, kind
I
of,
hate it. I
yeah.
only hate it because that seems like such a Disney style cop out
Yeah, for
to
sure.
keep her like a good character. And now that it's out in the universe, I'm like, I could totally see that happening. Like
Yeah.
I can do, and I don't think I like it
Yeah.
because I think I want her to be evil. I think I kind of do want her to like destroy the universe just a little bit.
Yeah,
Just
me
a
too.
tiny bit.
Oh, dude, I want her to do it a
Tiny
lot of
bit.
it. I don't know exactly how they'll play it, but I mean, he's saying, like, Feige is saying she has a lot to do in the MCU moving forward, like, so
Yeah.
past everything, right? My thing, and I really hope this is true,
Yeah.
is that I feel like they could replace the Molecule Man from the lead up to Secret Wars with Wanda, because in that story, he becomes, or it's revealed rather, that there's a Molecule Man in every universe, right? Just like there might be
Yeah.
a Nexus being or a Scarlet Witch in every universe, right? And he is literally a bomb put into all the universes by the Beyonders so that they can blow up the whole universe, technically destroy the universe, right?
Mhm.
So if she's here to destroy the universe, is she some kind of magical bomb that the Beyonders put into the multiverse or something like that? That would be
I
bananas.
love it.
Yeah, I would absolutely love that. But even just your old House of M and going really hardcore with that, I'd be there for that as well, because Wanda real
Yeah.
strong.
I would say, Tobin, that's a really great prediction, and I hate that it's such a good prediction because
Yeah, for sure. I hope they don't do that, but yeah, there's some evidence.
pretty good prediction.
Yeah, because they want to probably preserve her and make her nice.
I
And all
know, like they don't want to just like totally villainize her, but just do it.
Do it, man.
Do it,
Do it.
guys.
I'm
Come
sure. I think
on.
she'd be for it. To be honest, I think it's
I do.
Disney.
I totally think. Yeah,
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen is game.
Yeah,
Like she'll do
for
whatever.
sure.
She'll
Yeah,
play the role whichever way it comes. But yeah,
sure.
that is a hard pill to swallow because then it's like, then you're losing the merchandising credits. What if people don't want to
I
dress
think
up as
people
the
would
villain?
love it. Let her go dark just
I
for a
know.
couple movies or something,
I
man.
know,
You
just a
know?
teeny bit.
Yeah.
Because then it would be the kind of villain that you're always hoping will return. You know, like the
Right,
classic,
yeah.
like they're not fully bad. They'll maybe come back one day. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Done. Come
for sure,
on.
for sure.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Eduardo says, Wakanda sure does have a prolonging history of xenophobia. Would be interesting to envision Wakanda imperialism conquering the world entirely. I mean, that's totally Killmonger's vision, right? That's his absolute vision for
So
it.
what he wanted.
That's absolutely what he wanted. And yeah, they absolutely could have done that, but even that is sort of interesting to me that they didn't. Like, basically, I think T'Chaka in the comics kind of views it as that the West, but ultimately, really just the rest of the world, he really views them as children. And he views
Yeah.
the technology that they have as a weapon that you shouldn't give to children. And so they really don't think much of the rest of the world. And I think that they really do just chill up in Wakanda in their own paradise and do their own thing. That's really the way that I remember it being depicted in comics. Like, so yeah, it was a weird thing in the comics, and I like what they're doing with it now. And yeah, I'm here for it.
I really hope the Wakanda show is the Wakanda show is going to come out before the movie, right?
Well, now that we know that the friggin' movie's coming out next year, I'm not so sure, but who knows, man? They are moving on all this stuff, so I'm not sure.
If the Wakanda show comes out, actually, it doesn't even matter. Whichever, I hope the Wakanda show gets really political. I like political drama. It's kind of like my favorite kind of drama. I love like The West Wing and just anything Aaron Sorkin. I love Game of Thrones, obviously. So it's like political thrillers really do
Yeah.
make me very happy. And if they really leaned into the political aspects of Wakanda, because it's very interesting.
It is
I think it's a
interesting.
very, very interesting aspect of Wakanda that there's a lot of really, that's the whole thing that makes the Killmonger storyline so compelling, right?
Yeah.
Because they do have this amazing technology. And the world can't be trusted, as they've proven a million times, but it's also not right. It's just such a good conversation if they're really
Yeah.
willing to have it, then
Well, plus I also
do
think
it.
that the added impact of where the world of the MCU is at with like a blip situation, right? Like it's
Right,
not
right, 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 right.
just, right? So it's like it's not just that they are incredibly powerful and that them coming out into the world is now going to be all cool. It's like, yo, the whole world's messed up right now and Wakanda lost half its people too. So who knows what the state of and maybe now Wakanda's like, yo, let's backtrack on that opening up to the world shit. The world is messed up out there. We need to reconsolidate and get our crap together. So we really don't know. And that could be really
Yeah.
interesting to see certain people in Wakanda want to return to the old ways. Other people want to honor, Chad and or rather T'Challa and his thing. So yeah, I think the Wakanda show could
Yeah.
be a really, really cool sort of deeper character, but also political study of the state of the MCU and set up Wakanda Forever in a really really cool way as well. I'm here
Except
for it.
now I'm getting a little sad in my mind because I feel like that was kind of the goal of Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Mm.
and it didn't do it great.
Yeah, no,
I
100%.
feel like with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like the actual ideas of the storyline and the plot was actually really, really interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really cool and something that I was super excited to see them explore. World after blip, you know, Earth struggling for resources like that.
Yeah.
What a wild situation to be in. Like truly and honestly,
sure,
just having
yeah.
half the population coming back and not even, like having to navigate that, I think is so endlessly interesting.
Could have
And
been,
I was
yeah.
pretty disappointed the way that they handled
Yeah,
it. So
I mean, it's just to me again, it's just so obvious that they just remade the whole show and cut around
Yeah.
all of the flaws, and they basically just make it like I feel bad for the Flag Smashers because they take all the teeth out of just everything with them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they end up being just really one note villains saying the same crap all the time, and it really
Yeah.
it detracts away from the more from the other stronger elements of the show. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
for sure. But I just, again, that just gets me excited for what's to come, right? Because
Yeah.
whatever Disney wants to say about it, we all know what it was. Like the fucking LLC was called Pandemic Productions. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, like literally, the name of the virus is on the building. You know what I mean? So it's like, holy shit, we know what happened, guys. Like,
Yeah,
it's cool. It's
that's
cool.
fair. That's fair. Okay, I'll get excited again.
Yeah,
All
see,
right.
there we go.
Yeah, I'm back.
Crest, with very generous $20 holla, says if Pattinson can get into shape for Batman, then Shuri can get into shape for Black Panther. Wait. Yeah. We'll see about that with Pattinson. Happy belated birthday to Darren. That's very nice of you, Crest. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is he shredded? I actually haven't
So
seen
I've been
these
clowning on
shirtless
him for
Pattinson
like
pics.
2 years because I just think because did you hear the article that he did in 2020 where he refused to work
No,
out?
what'd you say?
Yeah, he like refused to work out, and he said in this article, and a lot of
He
people
didn't say
told me
that.
he was trolling. Bro, he went on to say this is also it's actors' fault for thinking that you have to work out and get in that kind of shape. James Dean didn't work out, Marlon Brando didn't work out, and he was talking about that literally. And I'm like, dude, shut your mouth. You're playing the greatest martial artist ever. You're playing a man who is
Yeah.
literally so traumatized that he just becomes a physical specimen out of pure trauma. You know what I mean? So shut
And it
your
is
mouth
one of
and
those
get under a
things where it's
barbell.
like you're never going to become that skilled without getting ripped as fuck. It's not even like you have to
Yeah.
be hot and buff. It's like we're talking about the believability of
Look
a
at
character,
fighters.
right? It's like
Look at the UFC.
yes.
Not all of them super good looking, but most of them cut because they're fighters. They're using their
'Cause you're
body in physical ways
yeah.
constantly. Yeah, for sure.
I just Googled Pattinson buff to see if there was anything.
I got a funny
it's
picture.
not looking
Yeah, I
buff.
don't know if I can find this really quick offhand. I did a meme picture of this. Let's see here.
I mean, he's an attractive man, but like,
Yeah.
he just looks like a man.
Yeah. Yeah, oh man, I wish I had this. Let's see if I can find this. I did a really funny meme back in the day because, like, at that time, I was clowning on him pretty hard, and I even said that I was like, I'm gonna get in better shape than Battinson before the movie. That didn't go as well as I'd hoped, but yeah, fun, and thank you, Cress, for
And
this part.
did Ben
Uh,
Affleck get buff, or is he just a huge guy? Now I'm
he's a
googling Ben
massive human
Affleck.
being. He's taller than freaking Jason Momoa. People don't realize
Dude, I
this.
know he's a huge dude.
He's a
So like now,
massive human being. Like, it's crazy.
yeah, it doesn't. That's what I mean. Like, I don't feel like Ben Affleck got that huge, but he's also just like
So big.
baseline huge.
Dude,
like,
we
his
watching the
baseline
Snyder
humongous.
Cut the other day, and I was like, look at how big he is. The scene where they're walking towards the water, he's literally towering over Aquaman, and they're trying to shoot it in a
Yes.
way to make Aquaman look bigger, and you're just like, holy shit, dude! Like, this dude's insane. Like, yeah, he's a very big human, but
I think people forget because there's all those pictures of him with like his cigarette being like, like, you
yeah,
know, and
yeah,
like
yeah,
they forget that
yeah.
he's a giant.
Yeah, and they don't even make. He's played a lot of roles too, where they shoot him sort of small because they don't even
Yeah.
want to make him look really, really big, like like in Argo and other shit like that. They want to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
eye lines. They want to, So yeah, I can see why
Well, it's
people
not great for a scene to have like.
horrible for a scene. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Stormy says with a $10 holla, Namor is my favorite character for a reason. He is complicated character with a great backstory and good motivations. God, I can't wait. I'm going to cry watching his debut. Imperious Rex. Okay, so that's awesome, and I love it, Stormy. It's great
I
to
love
see
to
you.
see it.
But what are you going to do, Stormy, if they have Namor kill T'Challa in the opening scene? Because if they do that, it's over for your boy. It's over. He's going to be the most
I know we
hated
talked
character.
about this before.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. In fact,
I really
I'm
hope they
taking a
don't
poll.
do that. There's truly no going back. Like if
over.
they do that, that's gonna be the biggest like, which I think would honestly be kind of dumb because it's like you really can't go back from that.
Bruh.
And also like, yes, I agree, Stormy, but also like great motivations question marks maybe sometimes, but
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I know, right? Maybe
sometimes he's just like sometimes he's just upset.
Stormy says, I will scream. He will be public enemy #1, and I'm here for it.
He's still here for it.
Oh,
Stormy's like,
shit.
honestly, do it. Do it. I'll
If
still be there for him.
Namor kills T'Challa,
Will you
will
forgive him?
you... Yeah, I want to say, will you hate him forever?
Only because I come from like comics world, I'm gonna say no.
Bruh.
But that's only because I'm coming from like past knowledge. I think
Yeah.
if someone comes in with zero knowledge of Namor, they're just gonna be like, absolutely fuck this guy forever.
Yeah.
But all of
because-
us like comic book, sweaties are gonna be like,
I know, but like I don't know because like my thing is like Chad's passing hit me hard, So like I don't know, man. Like I'm just gonna feel a really weird certain way about it, right? Like
yeah.
I don't know. Like even for me, I might be like, fuck this Namor dude, like forever. I don't know. I just think that's such a whack. I hope that's not the way they do it. You know what I mean? I hope
If
that's
they
not the way
actually
they do it.
have like a killing him scene, I think that's just gonna be hard to stomach in general.
Dude,
I don't
right?
even know.
Like everybody's
Like,
gonna be like, that was distasteful. Like, you know what I mean?
Like,
Like,
I
that
don't
was
want
not
that. I don't want to.
that was not
see it.
respectful to a legacy. You know what I mean? So
Like,
yeah.
Some of that shit happened off screen, I think. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, yeah. It's weirdly, it's still too fresh for me. Like,
Yeah.
it still feels like too recent.
Yeah, I'm interested. I almost feel like, if I'm being real, I almost feel like they're going to make him pass in the film similar to how he passed in real life, where like he'll be doing all this stuff. Maybe he shot some scenes, maybe they've got some stuff, and then
Yeah.
he will literally die.
Just surprise everyone.
And
be
everyone will be like, he was fighting cancer the whole time. And it,
Ugh,
the
gonna
pan,
make me cry again.
yeah,
just
right.
thinking
Like
about it.
because
It's
if you really think about it,
makes me
like that
really
is
sad.
almost the perfect way to sort of honor his legacy because like the dude was straight up a real life hero. You know what I
I
mean?
know,
Like,
like makes me so sad to think how
it's
sick
hard.
he was, like doing
Yeah.
everything that he was doing.
It's
It's like
hard,
it's
man.
really wild.
Yeah, it just it really messed me up, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, when I found out about it. So, Daniel
Yeah.
Fisher says, I too am unsure of exactly what entrance I want for mutants, but want it to be a strong one with the right characters. Drink the Kang Tang, simp responsibly, and take my money. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much.
Oh, Tang.
I
Drink
like
that
that
Kang
Kang Tang.
Tang.
Yeah, the Kang Tang is nice. That's a nice touch. I'm into it. So yeah,
I'm with you, dude.
Daniel's still
Daniel,
fearful of the mutant intro.
I really, God, I really can't land on that mutant. It's all I want.
Yeah.
And I'm still so torn.
Yes. Well, okay, so this is kind of interesting. So Never Lose Your Nerd kind of has a couple interesting things here. He says Feige has his 5-year plan and it's not time yet. Totally understand that. And then he follows up with not time for mutants yet. Let's be patient. So there's actually a lot of evidence, Never Lose Your Nerd, that this 5-year plan that Feige had, the one that he did mention in 2019, that he's bent and changed that plan quite a bit, in fact. And I think Quantum Mania and other things, including the Sony situation, has already made him change his plans. Also, he's jammed now with this year off, all these other things kind of out of time. And you can just tell, like, the things that he's doing are going to happen at a pretty accelerated rate. And like we said, the Namor bit is pretty substantiated. So you're getting
everyone go watch the Den of Nerds video that Josh just did on Kevin Feige's 5-year plan. It's actually, I think you put some good speculation on that based on like everything he said. So
Yeah.
I did think that was like a pretty good assessment of what's going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because even with him saying mutants at San Diego, right?
Yeah.
And then him being asked about it and kind of being coy where he was like, oh, well, I use them interchangeably. But then you're greenlighting a project called The Mutants like a couple of years later. I mean, like, to me, it just seems like, nah, he knew what he was doing and they had the plan for sure. So I understand what Never Lose Your Nerd is saying, though, and he's actually talking about some substantiated stuff. I just think things changed.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff has changed.
A lot of stuff. You're 100% right. Yep. I am Donovan says Michonne has too skinny of arms. Hell of an actor though. Give me all the mutants now. Why does DC hate redheads? Iron Man's still overrated.
What?
I don't know what the DC hating the redheads thing is. Is he talking about Batgirl? I don't know. Because they cast someone else's Barbara or whatever, or Batgirl.
Or all the other ones in line. I guess they're kind of redheads. What's her name? Zoe?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I disagree about your Michonne skinny arms, to be honest with you.
Denai Guerrera arms. I'm just Googling a lot of weird body stuff today. Google's like, what's going on with you, Darren?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're going to get
really
some
thirsty right now?
ads, that's for sure.
I wouldn't say she has skinny arms. I think she has the kind of arms that could get really buff.
Yeah.
Like if she like really, really hit the gym. This
dude.
one, I guess they kind of look kind of skinny.
I mean, they got bigger. I thought even in Walking Dead, though, she looks physically imposing. Like she's not a skinny, frail, kind of person. She looks like
she looks very hot in her Walking Dead outfit. Oh, hello.
Damn. But yeah, and Iron Man is definitely not overrated. So you've upset me on all the things you said, Donovan. Thank you for the support. John White says, let's keep the Kang Wang-elation going. Thoughts on what if episode where Loki and Sylvie take the bait and rule together? Please answer my Discord. Oh, my bad, dude. I'll check out that Discord. Sorry. And also, what do you think of that? Little what if with Sylvie and Loki ruling together. Wouldn't that be interesting?
I think it would be interesting, and I also think it would last like 5 seconds.
Right? I mean, dude, she betrayed the shit out of him in that final episode.
I think they would get everything they want, and then they'd somehow screw it up in like literally 5 seconds.
Yeah, dude, I don't know about all that. I mean,
she was not evolved enough to get what she wanted at all.
Yeah, she's like stuck in her adolescent phase. Like it's really interesting what they did with them. I mean, there could be a scenario for them depending on what they do in season 2, but I don't think that's what they'll do in What If. But you're definitely meeting some Lokis in What If. You're definitely meeting some Lokis, and I'm intrigued by how that could connect. And Is it possible that we see some of the variants we met in Loki? Ooh, that would be exciting. You know what I mean? Like seeing Alligator Loki, young Loki, or
Yeah.
Throg. You know what I mean? Like that would be pretty fun. I'd be
Maybe
into it.
male Loki would have done fine getting his dreams come true, but then that would just kind of been boring watching his
Yeah.
dreams come true
Yeah.
and
No,
him be
yeah.
super happy
I
and
know,
do a
right?
good
Yeah.
job.
What a great, intriguing show. Hey, who knows? Maybe we'll meet that guy and it'll be super annoying and we'll be like, yeah, this is the worst.
All right, get evil again.
Right. Exactly.
Boo.
Exactly. John Paca says, good night, nerds, and get hyped for Wheel of Time. Oh, Wheel of
Woo.
Time. I got to know more. Like, is it coming out sometime soon or is it like, why are we getting hyped? Like, I want to do it, but is it, when's the series come out? Let me search.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask my brother-in-law about it, and I'm sure he will talk my ear off for like hours and tell me every single detail of what's about to come.
So
He's
it
like,
says that Amazon
"Big Wheel of
begins
Time fan."
production of Wheel of Time season 2. So they're already going right into season 2.
Oh,
Oh, snap.
heyo.
The official Twitter posted an image. Yeah, when's the season 1 release? Due to delays, Wheel of Time is yet to premiere. Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, get hyped, I guess. John's right. John's right. Get hyped, everybody. Let's see here. Matthew K says, off topic, but I'm hyped for Agent Callus live action. Yeah, me too, man. I like Callus as a character. I think
The Star Wars.
Yeah, the Star Wars
guy.
dude. I think that's going to be really fun, especially because I think they'll use him in probably Andor, maybe even catch up with him later. And yeah, he's a cool character. I don't know. Have you ever watched Star Wars Rebels, Darren?
No, not fully. And I only started revisiting it honestly because of the Avengers. They did
Nice.
convince me because I couldn't get past that. First 2 seasons.
Yeah,
that's
there's
slow.
some slow stuff there.
When
It's
when it first came out on Disney XD, and it's like when it had like a million commercials. I'm just watching like 700 commercials,
Yeah.
and it's like 2 seasons of just like kid stuff, and so I kind of like let it go, and then actually the Nerd Adventures that inspired me to revisit it, but I haven't gotten all the way to the end. But I was like, okay, damn, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it has some dope moments for sure.
Yeah.
And it gets way better in the later seasons. Like I think the end of season 2 honestly is bananas. So if you haven't got to that part with like Maul and Ahsoka and the Inquisitors, it's crazy. But yeah, Callus, I'm here for it. Thank you for the support, Matthew. Vanjeksha says, I think we'll find out the herb Nakia gives to T'Challa to revive him actually doesn't last forever, and he's on borrowed time, and he will gracefully die. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it, too. Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
Yep, that's kind of where I'm at with it, is I think that's kind of where they'll go with it. And it's kind of a little bit of just like they keep saying like honor his legacy, right? And I'm just thinking well, how could they do that? And honestly, it would be interesting too to parallel the pure shock that the world encountered when they found out that Chad had passed to the fictional world of Wakanda and how they would react to their king dying of natural causes, but in kind of an unnatural way, like really fast, you know? Yeah.
Because it is like it's gonna kind of be like a scramble mode of like, what the fuck do we do now? Because it's like sudden and surprising and tragic. And yeah, I do think, that would be a wonderful way to honor his legacy by kind of honoring the reality of it and how it actually feels. So yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, I really like that.
Yeah. I see Angel says best cartoon is Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And then I saw someone comment on the video we did where they were like, they were like, I mentioned Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Josh talks about Avengers Assembled, totally different show or whatever. But they're all good.
Flip, I think.
Yeah. I like those shows for sure. Namor kills T'Challa, but it was Atuma all along. Ooh. Does Atuma do like, I don't know. Does Atuma do friggin' changing his form like that? I don't know. I don't know about that. Does he shapeshift? Atuma? I don't know.
I don't know.
Give me more clarification there, Stormy. I'm not sure what you're meaning there. Not sure what you're talking about. Yeah. Atuma is a bad man. I mean, yeah, sure. I can get down with that. All right, Darren, anything else you want to get into? Want to call it there? Anything on your noodle?
Nope, that's basically it. Just another lovely night of nerd venting in these streets. Always a pleasure.
Indeed.
Always a good time talking to you, Josh.
Indeed. No, I love nerding out with you for sure. It's always fun. I look forward to doing it again next week. So yeah, we'll be back at it next week, and yeah, we'll have some fun. There's some fun stuff coming for Nerd Vengers as well. I'm going to talk about some more updates tomorrow on the stream, and then just throughout the week as well. Some fun stuff coming. So thank you guys so much. As we always say, I hope you're having an awesome
and
a
nerdy day.
And we'll see you.
We'll see you
in the next video.
video.
Perfect.